The Spirit of Louisiana, WWL-TV Channel 4, New Orleans.
WWL-TV Channel 4, New Orleans. Bill Elders and Dawn Westbrook with weather. Louisiana's news leader, Channel 4's Eyewitness News.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bill Elder, and here's our 12 o'clock edition of Eyewitness News for this Wednesday afternoon, April 8, 1987. On the night of February 20th, 3 Pakistani seamen were arrested at a cannon motel and 14 pounds of nearly pure heroin was seized. One of the biggest busts in the New Orleans area. In federal district court, the 3 foreigners were charged with possession with intent to distribute and conspiracy to possess heroin. The Immigration and Naturalization Service and several law enforcement agencies cooperated in the case. It illustrates a new effort by the Immigration Service to apprehend criminal aliens and deport them, and said Mike Johnson, Assistant District Director of Investigations for the service. The nationwide alien criminal apprehension program was launched in this area early this year. Johnson said, Metropolitan New Orleans has a serious and growing criminal alien problem. He said in the first 3 months of 1987, the District Immigration Service has apprehended 70 criminal aliens, he said, and at least 1/3 have been deported. We have enough homegrown criminals, we don't need to be importing criminals, Johnson said. Other deportations will follow as Johnson's staff is strengthened, he said. His section has 9 investigators that have tripled the next 10 months to handle the criminal alien program and a sanctions program against employers of illegal aliens to be launched on June 1st, he said. Metropolitan New Orleans has a blend of foreigners from many countries, unlike some cities which has large concentration from 1 or 2 nations, Johnson said. The Immigration Service is investigating quarry and massage parlors that may be fronts for prostitution. Johnson said some have been closed in Jefferson Parish, and said, but others exist in New Orleans. In late January, 10 Nigerians were arrested in Baton Rouge on charges of selling state driver's licenses. Johnson said the arrests were a joint effort by the Immigration Service and the state police, he said. Most foreigners then said that the District Immigration Service wants to deport how many people have been involved with drug trafficking, Johnson said, but criminal aliens have been New Orleans have been raped, robbed, and murdered, he said. If they have been convicted and one serving sentences, the Immigration Service doesn't want to interfere, he said. But if they have been paroled, they are eligible for deportation, Johnson said. Sometimes deportable foreigners have stayed in the area just because they slipped cracks in the criminal justice system. Justin said his section is working with the team. Local law enforcement agencies said the Immigration Services want to deport criminals. The district office lately has been getting 20-25 calls a month from the law enforcement agencies. Here, John Snell, Channel 4 Eyewitness News. It's been 11 years since the Port of New Orleans has lost its banana business. Now, bananas are back, if only the small shipment compared to the days when New Orleans reigned the king of the banana import business. Officials confirmed that Tuesday that the Del Monte Fresh Fruit No. 3 among the giants of the banana business is using New Orleans to import containers of bananas. Announcement on April 16th that Del Monte is using import in a continuing operation for its container trade in business, said Renton, executive director of the department. Del Monte officials cannot be reached for comment. Branson said talks are on their way with the 2 other banana import giants, United Fruit, which markets Chiquita bananas, and Standard Fruit, which is selling Dole bananas. We have met with both groups and have intentions of having meetings. Branson said they would not elaborate. Bananas are the most popular fresh fruit in the world and rank only beyond fresh milk when listed as a ready-to-eat food, said Robert Moore, president of the National Banana Association. The average American consumed 23 pounds of bananas last year, Moore said. Bananas were first sold in the New Orleans markets in the 1830s by traders who brought them from Central America. That fruit remained a luxury until the early part of the century when refrigerated ships went into service in Latin America, allowing large quantities to be imported at reduced cost. Washington President Reagan, faced with an embarrassing spy scandal in Moscow, promised Tuesday to prevent further damage to our national security and suggested that the $191 million U.S. embassy being built in the Soviet capital will be turned down if it cannot be protected from eavesdropping. Reagan, already hammered by the Iran-Contra affair, acknowledged that he wrote in 1985 that the existing embassy was vulnerable to espionage and that Soviet employees should be replaced by Americans. The president said the reduction in Soviet personnel were ordered, but there were problems because it was exactly a place where you could just go out and hire Americans. Reagan told reporters that the Soviets wouldn't be allowed to move into the new embassy on Washington Hilltop until Americans were creating a new embassy in Moscow. The new U.S. embassy is expected to be finished in 1989 but it was reports in and already riddled with hugging devices. 10 Marine guards at the existing embassy have been charged with espionage. They allegedly became sexually involved with Soviet women and allowed KGB agents into the embassy's communication center and other sensitive areas. 2 members of Congress were made an inspector tour that occurred at Moscow embassy criticized officials for resisting tighter security and said that the mission might never be declared spy-free. We should have operated on the basis that the facility has been fully compromised, said Representative Dan Mika, Democrat of Florida, of the building that served the U.S. Embassy since 1953. Mika and Representative Lipus Norm, Democrat of Maine. Here, Washington, Soviet diplomats here conducted detective eavesdropping operations from the new Hilltop Embassy in Washington for 8 years, U.S. officials disclosed Tuesday. Even as President Reagan and Soviets will not be allowed to occupy the embassy until U.S. security concerns are satisfied. Reagan went before the reporters and announced that the resolved security questions surrounding the new U.S. embassy in Moscow. Soviet diplomats will not be allowed to occupy the new facility in Washington. Common residential building is not a Soviet complex, but not the office buildings have been occupied by Soviets by 8 years, said U.S. officials would discuss the situation on conditions may not be made. White marble chantry or office buildings at subtop Mount Alto on the capital's highest hills and is visible throughout much of the city. Espionage experts say that Hilltop allows the Soviets to aim antennas at microwave communication channel used by the White House, the Pentagon, and CIA and other key American officials. The Soviet Union will not be allowed to occupy their new facilities in Washington address. A simultaneous move by both countries is possible, Wiggins said, restating the long-held U.S. position. Senator Daniel Patrick Monahan, Democrat of New York, says that the Soviets are already using the embassy site to intercept U.S. communications. Although sensitive U.S. officers are taking precautions against the interception of phone conversations, the Soviet embassy on Mount Alto can intercept the spill from our microwave transmissions, Monahan said in an article published this month in Popular Mechanics magazine. The spill is a pattern of a microwave signals about 30-40 feet that is not picked up by the dishes used to relay microwave signals. Using in a well-aimed parabolic dish antenna located at the on top of Mount Alto, you can intercept this signal and pull it in, and that's just what they've done.
You really seem to dig this stuff.
This is a photo showcasing the Soviet's new Hilltop Embassy on Washington, D.C. sensitive hill called Mount Alto, commanding a view of the downtown Washington and nearby Virginia and the Pentagon. Here,
They're trying to scientifically prove.
Rayport McMoran will build an experimental $3 million recycling plant that could help solve the environmental riddle posed by millions of tons of contaminated waste gypsum piled along the Mississippi River, company officials said Tuesday. The plant will be built at the Freeport Chemical Fertilizer Plant near Convent in St. James Parish. Gypsum is a byproduct of phosphorus fertilizer production. The project will be involved in combining waste gypsum with other products for a rock-like substance that could be used for construction in place of shells, gravel, or rocks. The process also will yield sulfuric acid, which will be used in fertilizer production. Freeport McMoran was one of 4 companies that waged a losing fight to dump $12 million tons of gypsum waste a year into the Mississippi River. The waste is contaminated with radioactive radium and uranium, toxic heavy materials, and other pollutants. The dumping proposal drew fire from environmental groups and downstream communities that drink water from the river. The dumping plan was scheduled earlier this year by Martha Manning, Secretary of the State Department of Environmental Quality. Manning's decision left the plant with huge amounts of gypsum with no current commercial value. Freeport's announcement came in the first meeting of a special panel named by Governor Aaron W. Edwards to study potential use for the waste. The group of state officials, environmentalists, and industry representatives were appointed to find alternatives to dumping the gypsum into the river, a haven and on land. Pollutants from the gypsum mounds are snapping into that. Washington, the Reagan administration and private supports reigned $83 million and $97 million in the Nicaraguan rebels between 1984 and 1986, far more than the main country group decimated and needed, and more than $20 million that cannot be accounted for. A review of the finances shows. The amount raised been in addition to the $10 million or $20 million in untraced, supposedly diverted to the countries from arms sales to Iran. While it is not yet possible to fully piece it together, the country's finances information derived from the bank accounts internal. When asked, memos and interviews indicates that the total waste from 1984 to 1986 was at least $3 million to more than $45 million in the countries, and they needed to fight the Sandinista government in Nicaragua. Congressional and federal investigators may say that suspected at least some of the money that he had not been accounted for was spent on activities in support of the countries directed by Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, the National Security Council aide dismissed after the first discussions ran country hearings. There. A committee searching for a new chancellor for the University of New Orleans on Tuesday narrowed its list to 5 out-of-state candidates, including 2 women. The 5 candidates will be invited to UNO campus between April 20th and May 7th for the interviews in Louisiana State University System Administration and UNO Administrator Facility. Students and alumni said committee chairwoman Teresa Smith. Despite speculation that the committee might be searching for non-traditional and non-academic candidates from Louisiana to replace Cooper Mackin, the selected candidates are all academic scholars were administrators of out-of-state universities. Smith said the committee's selection won't become anti-Louisiana. We just thought the track records of these people were very impressive. The candidates are Betty L. Siegel, president of Kennesaw County in Marietta, Georgia. Here, Jared Reese, there's 56 current job president. Was for the Vice President of Academics at the California State University in Chico. David Haven Blake, Joint Dean and Professor of Management of Rutgers at the State University of New Jersey and New Brunswick. Eleanor Brentley Strauss, 50, Chancellor for Academic Affairs at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and Gregory M. St. L. O'Brien, Provost for Vice President for the Academic Affairs at the University of South Florida in Tampa.
Well, that's nice when you're done.
Two Proclamist Parish County councilmen are trying to divest themselves out of the outside business interest because of the apparent violation in the state ethics code.
That may be a bit optimistic.
Councilman Ted Seppi and Mike Budge, both of Bell Just, said that they do business with several major oil companies. The same oil companies have extensive interest in the oil-rich parish land and frequently negotiate with parish government. The state ethics code prohibits public servants of their companies from selling property, goods, or service
There's a lot riding on this fashion show.
to people or companies that have a contractual or business or financial relationship with the public servants agency, said State Ethics Board for the Peter Wright. The councilman's business interests also present a problem with a parish charter. The charter prohibits the council from entering into the contracts to the companies with whom a member of the parish council is associated with its business. Oil companies frequently enter into contracts with the parish to lease and develop parish-owned oil producing land. Last year, the parish received about $20 million in royalties from oil companies. Sempi owns half of Global Oil Tools, Incorporated Bell Chest, and oil field machine shop that provides oil companies with equipment. He said he did not realize he was possibly violating the ethics code when he was elected to the until last November. It was about any intention a month but I was elected. Sempi said I didn't figure out it was a conflict. There.
Healthy skin liquid makeup. 98% saw improvement.
4 members of India's Sikh religious sect pleaded guilty in federal court Tuesday to conspiracy to kill an Indian government official visited in New Orleans in 1985. The plea came as a part of an agreement with prosecutors under which the accused simultaneously maintained their innocence, but a 5th Sikh charge in the conspiracy. New Orleans called driver Jatinder Singh Awala, 31, refused the agreement and will go on the trial Wednesday in the U.S. District Court Judge Patrick Carr Court. Attorneys for the 4 Sikhs who were pleaded guilty cited the infrequently used Alfred rule, a 1970 U.S. Supreme Court rule that allowed defendants to claim innocence while entering into a plea bargain agreement that set
that fit right in. The new home collection store at JCPenney. Get an extra 20% off during our home sale when you use your JCPenney credit card and coupon. When it fits, you feel it.
Bill introduced in Congress by Senator J. Bennett Johnson and Representative Billy Towson would allow new industries and power plants to burn natural gas beverage coal. The section of Fuel Use Act of 1978 that prohibits new industries from using natural gas as their primary fuel was passed during the energy crisis as a way to conserve natural gas and reduce dependence on foreign oil.
You inhaler for 7 symptoms with Symbicort. Today I'm breathing better. Come on, boy.
Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort contains formoterol. Medicines like formoterol increase the risk of...
By injecting interferon into the spines of multiple sclerosis patients, researchers in New York have cut the rate of MS and Texanap, scientists said Tuesday. The research confirms that beta interferon, an antiviral substance produced in the human body, works like a birth control pill too. A reverend after researchers said. Divorce in the United States seemed to have peaked into the late 70s and now has stopped, but it's nearly 2 decade-long increase, a report by the Census Bureau Population Division. The level and off in the nation's divorce rate probably stems from a combination of the rise in age at first marriage and a change in the social attitudes toward marriage, researchers said. John Hinckley, the man, was acquitted by reason of insanity of attempted murder of shooting President Ronald Reagan, recently told a psychiatrist that he hopes to be released from St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Washington to live with Leslie DeVoe. DeVoe, who has called the biggest influence of my life, was accused of helping her
Close enough. We can hear it.
sleeping dog get killed. She met Hinkley at St. Elizabeth.
One more.
Workers' telephone calls will be protected from eavesdropping and employers under legislation of House to amend the federal wiretapping law. The bill was
Log.
passed by Representative Don Edwards, Democrat Capital, Winnie Bucar, repeating beep tone notifying employees and people on the opposite end of the line that call being monitored.
It's Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
A social security identification card, the key prosecution department against John Demjanjuk, was shown at the Nazi war crime trial Tuesday. But Demjanjuk was said by the attorneys that the signature card was forged by the Soviet Union. A West German documents expert testified that it would appear unfinished down to small detail. The Japanese government denied that making a secret pact with the United States in 1960 permitted the United States to ignore Japan's ban on nuclear weapons. Japanese communists said that they had found a document in Washington providing existence of the agreement. In the first known case of a surrogate motherhood in South Africa, a 40-year-old grandmother plans to give her birth to her daughter's triplets despite the disapproval of some clergymen and doctors. In Vietnam, Argentina, on Tuesday, Pope John Paul II called for a more fair distribution of the country's resources, advised farm workers not to migrate to the cities and told Indians to defend their heritage. He also heard that a local bishop implied that the Roman Catholic
A vast virus database has been
Church
updated.
that are being done a little to defend the human rights around the 1936-1983 military regime that tortured and killed thousands.
A loving husband to help her heal.
Yes, I would do anything.
In sports, now Sugar Ray Leonard adds it all. Columnist Peter Finney of the Non-Stamp-Tribune said he has many $11 million gained Monday in this
Deep emotion.
but against Marvin Anglick's pals. He has fame, but most important to Leonard, he has satisfaction.
No matter how much,
But a third straight year.
there's only so much you can do.
The Saints will miss the national television limelight according to the club's 1987 schedule announced Tuesday.
It's
And neither head coach Jim Moore nor general manager Jim Finks said he was pleased about the prime time national blackout. Add up that we have the kind of team that deserves some national coverage. Hope that we competitive, said Moore, whose team finished 7-9 in 1986. I hope we get some TV exposure because of that. Evidently, the people who made the schedule didn't think so. It's a typical TV package that I have no control over. That Finks said the only control we have is to get good, then they'll have knocking on the door. We got the best place to stage a game in the league, the Superdome, and we're building a product that will grow with it. Last time the Saints appeared on national television was 1984. New Orleans won its first Monday night game and primetime game, beating Pittsburgh 27-24. While the rest of the nation might not have an idea just how good the Saints will be in 87, the Saints may know their fate 10 weeks into the season. New Orleans plays all 6 inter-division games of the season's first 10 weeks in a 1-4-week stretch. The Saints play 4 times against the NFC West foes: San Francisco, Atlanta, and Los Angeles Rams at 3. Exclusively on the road: Atlanta, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. In an 8-week stretch
I'm your best critic.
from October 11, Northern Train after the Saints will play 6 road games, including an October 18th game in Chicago. 5 games that are spent coming against 86 playoff team, and 1 at home in Northern Train second against world champion New York Giants. The Saints have 2 possibilities of on-the-road wintertime conditions on November 29th at Pittsburgh and December 20th at Cincinnati. I don't worry about things like that. You got to line up and play 6 times a season. How to call. You got to play all well in situations. There, it's a mistake to worry about things like that. In all, the Saints play have their schedule against the 1986 playoff teams. Opening with AFC semifinalist Cleveland at home on September 13th. The Saints close their season at home December 27th against Green Bay. Tampa Bay, which signed Miami quarterback Vinny Testaverde last week, plays in the Superdome on December 6th. 1 at 2-3 p.m. starts at home. The Giants game is a schedule. We know what we're playing. Now we know them. Things that you tell me how when an opponent will play that particular day, I'll tell you how we'll do. No one has an easy schedule. No one has an easy game, Morris said. The New York Giants and Chicago Bears will meet in Chicago on the opening Monday night of the 1987 NFL season. The September 13th game, first regular season meeting between the Bears and Giants since 1937 matches the teams with the best regular season record last year. Each team went 14-2, but the Bears lost to Washington in the first round of the last year's playoffs, pushing another meeting with the Giants when they beat 21-0 in the 85 playoffs. The Bears-Giants game is an opener of the ABC's Monday night series and is one of the 4 primetime appearances for each of the 87 schedule. Each has 3 appearances on the ABC and 1 in 8 ESPN. Series on Sunday night games of October 8 when the New York Giants take on the New England Patriots at Giants Stadium in New York. Here's an 87 New Orleans Saints schedule. Here's September 13th, Cleveland at noon. 7th, 20th, at Philadelphia against the Eagles at noon.
Sick of our children and our grandchildren.
You can see on Channel 4, September 27th, Atlanta at noon. October 4th, LA Rams at noon. October 11th at St. Louis Cardinals. October 18th at Chicago Bears. October 25th, San Francisco at noon. November 1st, Atlanta at noon in Atlanta. November 8th at LA Rams at 3 p.m. November 15th at San Francisco at 3 p.m. November 22nd, New York Giants at 3 p.m. November 29th at Pittsburgh Steelers at noon. December 6th, Tampa Bay 3 p.m. December 13th, Houston at noon. December 20th at Cincinnati at noon. And December 27th, Green Bay at noon. And WWL-TV Channel 4 New Orleans is your Saints station for Saints games will be shown on Channel 4. Stock market Dow Jones International closed at 2360 down 4460 points there. Okay, weather now here now down Westbrook. Here, take away on. Alright, thank you, Bill. Right now, current conditions at noontime of what's on this April 8th, 1987. We got 69 at the airport, 69 in Audubon, and 63 in Stadell. Podcast skies, a humidity of 45%, winds northwest about 7, and the barometer 3.10 inches here. Alright, current conditions, Manor region at 65 in Houma, 66 in Morgan City, 68 in Baton Rouge, at 69 in Lafayette, 70 in Lake Charles, 64 in Leesville, 64 in Alexandria, 67 in Shreveport, 69 in Monroe, 68 in Jackson, 67 in Macomb, 66 in Aspenberg, and 63 in Gulfport, Biloxi here. Weather-wise around the nation today. Showery skies in northern New England and upstate New York. Showery skies in eastern Washington and northern Idaho, northeastern Oregon and for western Montana. Warm for much of the region. And high pressure in eastern Wisconsin and eastern southeastern Colorado and New Mexico. Satellite cloud photo taken at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, so some cloudiness from Mexico down to the Gulf of Mexico down for southern Florida here, and also clouds from western Oregon and down to Washington State and up in British Columbia here. So this afternoon, podcast skies low about 67 to 72 degrees, sunset 7:23 p.m. Tonight, podcast skies low in the 40s, and for tomorrow, podcast skies highs in the 70s, low in the 40s here. And marine forecast from Gulfport, Mississippi to the Mississippi River. Winds will be from the north at 10 to 15 knots. Wednesday, seas will be 2 to 4 feet from the Mississippi River to intercoastal Louisiana. Winds will be from the north near 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be 3 to 5 feet. And 3-day forecast for Friday and Saturday podcast skies high both days. 70s will be high, 50s will be low. Tomorrow's morning sunrise about 6:41 a.m. Tomorrow's sunset 7:24 p.m. and moonset 1:09 p.m. First quarter May 6th, full moon April 14th, last quarter moon April 20th, and new moon April 28th.
Not just the better.
And that is going to be it for the 12 o'clock Eyewitness News Report on this April 8th, 1987 on a Wednesday. I'm Bill Arnold on the side, Don Westbrook. Have a good day. I will see you later. Bye-bye, buddy.
Even after Sharon's rocked by a heartbreaking